hope you guys are all okay and all good. Welcome to another video. My name is George. For those of you who don't know, feel free to subscribe down below if you're not already. And this is Jordan. You're not going to say hello? When did you get so rude? Hello! As promised, this is the third of our holiday wrap-up videos, and we are finishing with our favourites from the Hollybobs. So we have split these into categories, and we're going to talk about what our favourite things were, our favourite quick service, table service, snacks, non-Disney park stuff, favourite rides, and our favourite moments. I really hope you've been enjoying these wrap-up videos we've been posting over the past week. We're very sad because it's February. Storm Dennis is blowing a hoolie outside right now, and I would rather be in Florida, to be honest.
Pretty much.
So, we're going to talk about our favourite things from our holiday to make ourselves feel better.
Right, go. Favourite quick service?
My favourite quick service was Pecos Bill's. Pecos Bill's Tall Tale Inn and Cafe.
Oh, wow. I trained him well.
Is like on the border of Frontierland and Adventureland. It is sort of, I don't know what the kind of cuisine is, sort of like Mexican. It's like a lot of burritos and rice bowls and like queso and chips and dip and that kind of thing with its own fixins bar. It is one of the best value quick service credits you can use, and it is so delicious. We went there 3 times while we were on holiday.
Yeah, and also we got one with our
Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Keys to the Kingdom tour. They speak a quick service at restaurant, although it tends to be sort of Tomorrowland Terrace and Pecos Bill's, but we managed to get Pecos Bill's, which was good.
It's so delicious. It's just so yummy. Like, you would
really
have seen,
really filling.
Yeah, you would have seen in the vlogs. We ate there. I think we ate there twice with a quick service credit and once on the Keys to the Kingdom tour. It's the best. And the fixins bar. It's really great. That's my favourite quick service for sure. What's yours?
I think what's good about that is that it's. Well, I will come on to mine.
Okay.
But I think it's good food. Like, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good food.
Semi-healthy food, assuming you don't get the massive nachos. But sort of the rice bowl and we
got the fajita platter,
the fajita thing, it's really not that bad for you in terms of theme park food. And the chicken is good, the pork was good, the beans, the rice, everything was just so good and flavourful.
Like, it's a different kind of food,
but really filling, and the atmosphere is good. There's some good aircon in there.
Oh God,
plenty of seats in there. Yeah, I really cannot fault that.
No, fantastic
good
stuff.
choice.
Thank you. What's yours?
Mine was Docking Bay 7. Obviously our first time going there, we didn't even know where it was until we got there. And it's still quite obscure if I think about it. You could easily walk past it.
It's opposite Smuggler's Run, right?
Yeah, but we only sort of realised it was there because there was a guy stood holding the menu. Otherwise you wouldn't know. And that's the whole point of Galaxy's Edge, is that it's immersive. But you wouldn't know from the outside that it was a restaurant. And you go in there and it was so brilliantly themed. Obviously they've got all the racer parts all along the
oh God, it's so
the
good.
Walls.
You're sat in like a container or something.
Containers or engine parts and things like that. So the food was really good. It was like almost home cooked food style sort of thing, like beef brisket.
Mine was like a chicken. It was like smoked chicken or something, or southern fried chicken tip yip.
Yes,
which is like, it was chicken shaped in like an oblong with mac and cheese and tender stem broccoli that was like buttery and seasoned and just it was really nice.
Good, but again proper food, not your burger and chips and your chicken nuggets and chips.
And I think on the same day we had that, we went to ABC Commissary.
Yeah.
And like the difference in quality.
Exactly. So use your quick service credit at Docking Bay 7.
Yeah.
And try their specialty beverage as well. It was very nice.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah.
Just a lot of ice, I remember.
Yeah, but it was nice.
I had a Coke. So next up, favourite table service. We've both picked deluxe table service here.
We have actually, and when we picked these, we did say that perhaps that's not fair. But I picked California Grill because that was unlike anything I have ever experienced in terms of a restaurant. Like,
yes.
Anywhere I've ever been, it was unlike anything else. You go in there, the service was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The view was like anything else I've ever experienced. Obviously the guy, what was the guy's name?
Topher.
Oh my god, well remembered. Yeah, like Christopher, but without the Chris.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Toby,
Well remembered, though.
Topher. He was really nice.
He was really nice, and because we told them we were celebrating our anniversary
Well, they
in
knew.
advance.
They knew as well.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't mention it at the restaurant, but obviously it was part of our Disney profile thing. I don't know.
Oh my god, so that's why we got like wished
Yeah.
it practically everywhere.
So we got wished it often, which
Yeah.
was really nice actually. But also we got sort of confetti on our table, which was nice. Mickey confetti, which you will have seen. The view was unbelievable, and just the quality of the food, like. It just wasn't your normal breakfast buffet like the sort of one we'd had at the Gatwick Hotel. It was things that I've never even tried before. I've never had deviled eggs before.
True.
I've never had so many different like continental meats and all these things. It was just unlike anything else.
Oh my god, and all of the entrees.
The entrees, yeah. I think we confused and surprised Topher.
We did.
In requesting more than one. We'd seen the Tim and Jen tracker video where they told us you could select more than one, and it says on the menu you can.
Yeah.
And we'd gone there with the intention of wanting to try more than one entree.
We wanted to try things. Like I think the buffet had a lot of different stuff on it.
Not necessarily all to our taste though.
No, exactly.
Like sushi and things like that, really not to our taste.
No.
So we'd gone with the intention of
wanting
the entrees instead.
So I had the steak and eggs.
Yeah.
You had the eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict.
I had the
delicious.
blueberry pancakes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You had the pineapple cake.
Pineapple French toast thing.
Pineapple French toast.
Yeah.
And then we both had the from the little bar thing. We had the
the cake, the orange cake.
It wasn't an orange cake. It was like I can't remember what it was called, but it came with like a brandy sauce type thing, and it was.
But I think we confused Topher by requesting more than one entree. He was like, "Oh, you guys ready to go?" And we were like,
No.
So that was a little bit. In fact, that was the only issue I could because he'd sort of assumed that we'd finished when we really hadn't.
No.
And obviously, a better service would have been to ask if there's anything else he could get for us.
Yeah, because we didn't like you said, because it wasn't all to our taste, so we didn't like have loads of the buffet food.
We'd only had little bits and pieces.
Yeah, we'd been trying stuff
with the intention of getting more than one thing.
Yeah.
But he'd already sort of like assumed that we were going, and it was like,
it just made it a little bit awkward.
So it made it a little bit awkward, but he rescued it, and the food was delicious.
Yeah.
And if that's the only criticism we've got, then
yeah. So my favourite deluxe table service, which I think you would have guessed if you've watched the vlogs, was Gico at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. We went there for our anniversary meal. Didn't take huge amounts of footage while we were there because we were just enjoying evening out.
And I think it struck us both as being more fancy than even California Grunch Brill.
Yeah.
Hello. It struck us as being more fancy than California Grill Brunch.
Oh yeah.
And so it didn't really seem appropriate, and people are going there for date nights and family
Although, we were kind of like, we're not going to do much video in here, it's a fancy establishment.
There was literally a couple on a date next to us.
Like some boomers on the one table over who were like taking all of these photos with the flash on, and it was like, okay, this is obviously alright, but still.
It didn't seem right to us, but and obviously it was our anniversary as well, so we wanted that moment, but...
It was so delicious. We had this tomato focaccia bread that we ended up having 3 of.
Again, we surprised the waiter.
I know, he was like, do you want it? Like, because we ordered he was like, you can have another one if you like. So we had a second one, and then he came over and was like, do you want a third? And we were like, yeah, because
it was so
delicious. Good. Like, I mean, it was bread, but like it was this like flavoured. It was just so yummy. So we had that. We both ordered the steak with the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge steak eater.
In fact, I don't think we've ever cooked steak at home.
No, but took advantage of the fact that like it's meant to be one of the best steaks ever.
And somebody was cooking it for us.
Yeah, and oh my god, like the mac and cheese was like a 4-cheese mac and cheese anyhow, which was already like unbelievable. But then the steak was just so yummy. Yeah. Perfectly cooked. It was gorgeous.
And the drinks were delicious. The drinks were recommended by I can't remember his name.
No, I've forgotten his name too. It will be in the video. We will have his name in the video. I just don't have it with me in my brain right now.
The waiter was spot on.
He was so lovely. Like, he was chatty and like talked to us about like his life and
And it's really weird. I'm going to put something controversial out here now, and I was thinking about this when we mentioned Jason, the concierge.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking it's the first experience we've had as a gay couple doing something like this, like proper fancy dining, fancy hotel, and you always have an apprehension about how, especially when you're celebrating an anniversary there, how people are going to treat you.
Yeah. And
I think in terms of Disney as a whole, they were absolutely faultless. And I don't know what it is, but I thought maybe at these hotels when you're celebrating an anniversary meal, at these restaurants when you're celebrating an anniversary meal, there might be some judgment going on there or whatever. And I don't think it's unfair to say that, but what I would say is that literally everybody we came across was so unbelievably nice.
I think as a gay person, it's something that you just sort of deal with, like because you all. And maybe it's generational, because maybe the younger generation maybe don't have this so much. But like, you're always a little bit on guard. You never know what someone's going to say, or how someone's going to react, because it's not the usual.
Exactly, yeah. And,
so,
and obviously we were in a foreign country. I know America's not too dissimilar, but
Florida is a red state, technically.
We were in a foreign country. I know America is not too different to us, but you just don't know how people are going to take to that, and obviously some Americans have quite extreme views. But there's certain restaurants in particular that struck me as being like unbelievably not accommodating it. We're not asking for much, but
they didn't bat an eye. It was just
they went beyond. No, what I mean is they went beyond that in the sense that they would, like, unlike anything else I've ever experienced. I.e., the guy at Gico, Topher at the California Grill, and our waiter at Boma.
Both waiters at Boma.
Both waiters at Boma and the guy at Sanaa. It's something that I think needs to be mentioned, that Disney in those particular moments and those those cast members in those moments have gone beyond what I anticipated and also expected. It went beyond, certainly beyond what I would have expected, in order to make us feel comfortable. And I suppose that's what you get, or what you should get at Disney, and they certainly delivered that.
We do have honourable mentions in this category, and the honourable mentions are essentially everything else you can eat at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So Sanaa, which is one of the nicest dinners I have ever had in my life, period.
I think Sanaa was about 0.5% off being my one choice. Because that, as you just said, that was unlike any curry sort of meal that I've ever had.
It was unreal. It was so delicious from top to bottom. The whole thing was stuns. The other one is Boma, where we ate twice, once for breakfast, once for dinner. Both times was incredible. Like the food selection there is just it's outrageous and bombastic.
I've seen things there that I've never seen before.
Like they've got everything that you think that they're going to have, and then like 20 other things
that you've never seen,
that you've never even heard
of,
are
delicious.
But you do want to have because they're great.
I tried all sorts of things at Boma, and I wasn't disappointed by any, except for the zebra domes.
The only things that were disappointing at Boma was the desserts, which
the zebra domes.
No, we said in the video that we said stick with your savouries at Boma, because they're also scrummy.
They were.
And the Mara as well, which it's not anything
to write home about.
No, it's nothing special, but it was what we had there was delicious. We ordered the Mara on the way home one night when we were coming home late. We ordered 2 chicken sandwiches, which were really lovely. I slathered nacho cheese sauce in mine that we'd bought for some Doritos, and it was the best thing ever. I really enjoyed it. Like all the eateries at the Animal Kingdom Lodge are fantastic. Basically. Okay, so favourite snack.
I'm gonna go with the Gaston's cinnamon roll, which is not like the Christmas colossal cinnamon roll.
No,
it's more. That one is more like pastry version.
A cinnamon swirl.
Yeah.
Whereas this is
Gaston
a cinnamon roll.
A cinnamon roll, like more bready. If you've ever had a Cinnabon, it's basically a much larger version of that, which happens to go beautifully with a fooze brew.
Yeah.
That sort of frozen apple and custard flavoured. Or is it marshmallow even? Yeah. Apple and marshmallow flavoured thing.
Delicious.
So good. It's never let us down.
No.
And it's worth paying out of pocket for if you're not on the dining plan.
We did pay out of pocket for it first time we went.
We did. It's one of the few snacks that we actually paid or bought even the first time we went, and definitely recommend.
Yeah. My one for this is the Lazal goat's cheese tart and the quiche. So technically I've picked two, but we went to Lazal for, it was like a cheeky little breakfast that we went for, really, at World Showcase. Lazal is in the French Pavilion in Epcot, and we had beverages, and we shared a tart and a quiche, and they put them in the oven beforehand.
Yeah, which we didn't expect, actually.
Nope, so it was all melted and ooey gooey and delicious. I love a pastry at the best of times, but that was something else.
It was very good, wasn't it? And the coffee was really good there.
Good coffee.
And it was reasonably priced, because I paid out of pocket for both of those drinks. And they were very good.
And also, like, with Lazal generally, like, we had to, they were delicious, obviously, but we were having to search the menu for something that was over $5.
Yes.
So,
you're right, actually,
like, generally, as somewhere to go and have, like, a quick snack somewhere, if you're paying out of pocket, Lazal is the one.
Yeah,
like, it's got
so
everything.
And, the drinks were really good as well. And price-wise, I think you'd be able to get 2 snacks and 2 drinks about $12 to $15, which is
easy.
Really very, very
absolutely
reasonable.
easy. Like I said, we were working to find things that were over.
In fact,
like,
I think they were the only 2 that I
Yeah.
remember off the top of my head that were.
Yeah.
All of the sort of smaller pastries were like $3, weren't they?
So if you wanted to get like a little snack and pay out of pocket, you can get yourself like a snack, and you can get yourself a pastry and a beverage for like $6. Now onto something that's not Disney. What is your favourite not on Disney property place that we ate?
So mine is Thunder Falls. What's it called? Thunder Falls Terrace at Islands of Adventure.
Delicious.
So that is, I think it was right next to the Jurassic Park ride.
Yeah.
Obviously they've got a lot of work. Well, they did have a lot of work going on around there, so it's all a bit of a mess. But we eventually found it, having had to ask a team member where it was.
Yeah.
But we found it hidden away, and I can't remember where. Obviously, we, as you will have seen, we got the dining plan thing.
Yeah.
From Universal on the first day to get the refillable mug. And I think I'd read that the Terrace Falls Thunder Falls Terrace.
We didn't remember the name in the video either, if that helps.
Thunder Falls Terrace. I think we'd read that Thunder Falls Terrace was a good use of their dining plan, because the meals are quite expensive. And the meal that I had was, I think, $17.49.
We had the same thing.
And we had we did, and it was just so good.
Oh my God,
like the portion size was really massive. Like 2 different types of meat. The potato things, which were delicious, with like rosemary and herbs and things on. Corn on the cob. The whole thing. Milkshakes included, as well as because obviously you get that as part of the combo meal, as well as your refillable mug.
Wasn't it like chicken and ribs or something that we had?
Chicken and ribs, yeah. But it was just this big plate of good quality food.
Yeah, it was good.
The restaurant was really quiet and air conditioned, hidden away, and there was a good selection. Like, you didn't have to have the potato things, you could have different types of size, but they looked really good, and they were really good. So yeah, I mean, it's quite expensive to pay out of pocket if you compare it to Pecos Bills, which is about as close as I can get, I think, at Disney. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but it was a lot of food,
and it was like,
and it included the milkshake.
And again, it was that thing of like having something that's not that we're like knocking it in any way, like, give me a burger and fries, god damn it, or some nugs. But it was like having stuff that wasn't usual from a theme park. And it was really good.
Yes.
My one for this is Freddy's Steak Burgers and Frozen Custard. This is a fully, like, out of the...
This is out of the tourist... Not out of the tourist bubble, but out of the theme park bubble.
Yeah, so it's not in a theme park. This is right near the Vineland Premium Outlets. It is within walking distance if you can find a place to park, or just park there. It's steak burgers and frozen custard. It's so delicious. We've been there twice. It's not been busy either time we've gone. No. This time, Jordan accidentally ordered deep fried cheese curds, and that was probably the best thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life, food-wise. It was so good. The steak burgers are so flavourful and delicious. There's a sauce there that is also very, very yummy. The frozen, what was it called? Cement? Concrete. Close enough. They have these like frozen concrete things that are essentially like milkshakey, ice creamy type things.
It's like a bigger McFlurry, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah. And they are so good. And yeah, like I said, like it doesn't seem to be something that tourists go to that are going to find them premium outlets.
No, but I think Americans are probably familiar with Freddy's.
Yeah.
But as a British person, it's not something that comes up on any touristy websites or recommendations. I think we just literally went there for something. Last time we went there for something quick and easy, and we were pleasantly surprised. Like the quality of the food for the price you pay was actually really good, and the burgers are sort of hand bashed. They're not moulded; they're hand bashed, so they're all like frayed around the edges.
Yeah.
It was really weird, but really good. And yeah, the concrete's all frozen custards are also really good, and those frozen cheese curds. Yeah,
oh my
what
god,
a mistake that was, but they were so good.
Beautiful, beautiful mistake.
Yeah. Actually, I recommended to my family when they go next week that they give the cheese curds a go.
So good. So, next. Favourite ride? Starting in Universal. Because we haven't talked a lot of Universal in this video.
Universal Orlando Resort.
Universal Orlando Resort.
Spider-Man for me, I think.
A strong choice.
Yes. It's been upgraded slightly since the time I went before last. So the projections are all new. It still looks so good even after all these years. I think it's quite timeless, really.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ride.
Yeah.
And we got to go through the express line to ride it as well.
Oh, and we saw it for the first time. The different little
the express line has
got a
its own
themed
line.
express line.
It's so good. Mine for this is Escape from Gringotts. I love this ride. It's incredible. Like from the first time we went on it, like when we went in 2017, to doing it twice this time, it was just unbelievable. It's just the best ride. Like the projections, the roller coaster aspect of it, it's just brilliant. And I don't know how they do half the stuff they do in it.
I think those two rides in particular are examples that Universal can do 3D and screens well. Obviously in recent years there's been a couple of editions where their use of 3D or screens is questionable, and we mentioned one of them in the Universal vlog, but obviously with Gringotts being quite new, it's an example that if they put their mind to it, they can use screens really well, and that's perhaps how we should use screens, in the same way as the Na'vi River Journey or the Shanghai Pirates of the Caribbean. That's how you should be using screens, not just us riding along on the side of a screen.
You know what we're talking about.
And Spider-Man again is the same. Let's have some physical sets in there. Let's have a bit of action. Which
is why Transformers is also such a good ride.
I can't knock
Exactly
Transformers.
that.
It's basically a clone of Spider-Man, but with a different story. But if you're going to do screens, you need a physical set and you need a bit of action. Jimmy Fallon and Fast and Furious and the King Kong ride is questionable use of a screen, isn't it? Whereas those really good.
Honourable mention in this category is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which we managed to get on 3 times while we were there. I honestly thought we'd only get to maybe do it once, but we did it once with each of us in, one of us on the motorbike and one of us on sidecar. We did both of those, and then we did it one final time where we got to do whichever one was our preference. I like the motorbike best, and it's an incredible ride, an incredible addition to Hogsmeade, to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or whatever. It's just so great.
I think we didn't put it as our first choice because it's too obvious, because it is just so
stage.
Good. It is. So it's I mean, what do you say to that? Yeah, it's got a bit of everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, and like the amount of tricks and stunts and gaggery and goopery that they put in that entire ride is unreal. Like, unless you're going to go ahead and spoil it for yourself, you won't see any of it coming, and that's why it's so great.
Yeah, and I think if you haven't looked at the POVs and you are going to Florida, don't do it. Just hold off, because it's worth the surprise. Definitely.
It really is, because there's a lot in there, and that's what makes it so good, is not knowing what's going to happen next.
Yes. Now, considering it's a similar ride system to Slinky Dog Dash,
I think Slinky Dog Dash was probably it was my second biggest disappointment of the holiday.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, here's what could have been.
Like, I I love Toy Story with my wholest heart. I really do. But from that ride, I wanted something so much more. Like, I enjoyed it, and it was fun, and it was cool, and you see me in the video, and I am enjoying it. But it's kind of meh. Like, it's just
not quite the same.
It's not quite, and that's the thing. Like, because like roller coasters as thrill rides, they go upside down, they do corkscrews, da 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 da. Hagrid's doesn't do that, and is incredible. Whereas Slinky Dog also doesn't do that, and sort of, it's kind of underwhelming. I think it under-delivers, and it could have been amazing.
Okay.
It's kind of sad.
Well, talking of Disney then, what is your favourite Disney ride?
My favourite Disney ride was Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage was... I mean, we fast passed it the second time, but the first time we jumped in the line late at night to do it. And it was worth every minute of that wait. It was unreal. Like, if you've done it, you'll know, but there's nothing quite like it. It's just gorgeous. The whole thing. It's stunning. Agree?
Yeah, I do agree, but I think that's an obvious choice.
It is an obvious choice, but I don't care because it blew me away.
Yeah.
And I have my favourites at Disney World. I do like Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, Pirates. I do like other parks apart from Magic Kingdom, I promise. But Flight of Passage was brand new for me, and it just blew me away. Everyone said it was good, and I thought, yeah, I'll really enjoy this. But I wasn't expecting to be quite as invested emotionally into it as I was, which is what also made Na'vi River Journey such a huge disappointment. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was, but we got to the end, and I was like, was that it?
Okay.
Sorry. What's yours?
The Haunted Mansion.
Of course.
Yes. I don't think I need to say anything in particular about the Haunted Mansion. It's just brilliant.
And we got to ride it. We rode it a lot, actually.
Yes. We rode it with Ray, our Keys to the Kingdom tour. And she told us some bits and pieces about how the different effects are done, and the sort of backstory to it. It's just brilliant. And I hope it never goes away.
I don't think it will. It's always got a big old wait time. And I think they would riot if it left.
I would riot.
Well, there you go. It's a reason to go back. And last but by no means least, favourite moment.
Yeah, I think we spent a long time thinking about
We
this
did.
one,
This
more
was
so than
lovely.
any other thing.
Yeah.
But for me, the bit that will always stick with me more than anything else is going into California Grill brunch for the first time, and just because obviously neither of us had ever seen the view from up there.
No.
And then being seated in the seat that we were sat in, which you've seen, right by the window.
That was unreal.
Overlooking the Magic Kingdom. And then obviously going back there later on that evening and going onto the roof terrace and watching the fireworks from up there is unlike anything else we've ever experienced.
It was insane. Seeing that view for the first time as well.
Yeah.
When we were
And then just getting that seat, because the restaurant is big.
Yeah.
And there are some rubbish views. Or some rubbish tables in the centre of it, or round at the back. Obviously, you'd be facing towards Epcot, but Epcot's pretty far. Whereas that table, we couldn't have picked a better table.
I think it was like an anniversary thing.
Maybe.
I think they might have given us like an extra special table
Maybe
for that reason, but whether they did or not, it was amazing.
Yes.
And mine for this was something that we didn't. Another thing that we didn't do last time. A thing that is very specific to this trip was late nights in the parks. Like those pictures that we got and those moments that we had while the park was emptying out, both in Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom and Epcot, were amazing. To feel like you have the whole park to yourself is a feeling like nothing else. Like being able to get a picture where we are literally sat in front of Cinderella Castle, that's like a ridiculous photo to have. It's completely ridiculous, and the fact that we have it is incredibly special.
And there's the one on the other side of the castle, the front side of the castle,
front of the castle,
that somebody offered to take for us as well. So yeah, we managed to get some really nice, and obviously the one in front of Tower of Terror, which somebody else took for us as well. Yeah, I agree. That was something.
Yeah, it really was a very special trip. Overall, really, this trip was really special.
Yeah.
we've knocked it out of the park, really. We talked after our last one when we were planning it. We were like, because it was the 2017 trip was so successful in so many ways that we were worried that we wouldn't be able to match that or live up to that. And you've seen, we smashed it out of the park. It was a good holiday.
Yeah.
And now we're done, and we're going to stop talking about this holiday because this holiday is over. Sad. But again, thank you so much for watching these videos, for commenting on them, for liking, for subscribing, for saying lovely, lovely things. We weren't expecting a response like that because, like we said in the first of these 3 videos, we made those videos for ourselves and for our families, so, and for us to look back on, like when we're planning the next thing.
That is us.
Oh yeah. I'm very smart. So to have people being so into them was kind of a lovely bonus, and it was kind of overwhelming and lovely. So thank you for doing that. That is the end of this series of videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, put a thumb on it and subscribe down below for if we go on holiday again. Yeah, it's been really fun. Thank you so much. I love each and every one of your faces, but not as much as I love his. And I will speak to you as soon as I possibly can. And let's say bye one more time for old time's sake. Bye. And now I'm just sad.